Hello everyone! Today's topic will be based on the verse Luke 6:12, which will help us reflect about the importance of maintaining a good prayer relationship with our Lord. This is important to us because it'll help us maintain the strong state of mind that we will need during this Lent period. When we read the verse in Luke 6:12, we see that it says something like this: In these days he went out to the mountain to pray, and all night he continued in prayer to God. Despite Jesus living what one could consider to be a saintly life, one recurring theme throughout the Bible is of Jesus devoting time to pray to God. From the context of this verse, we also know that it is during this time that the selection of the 12 apostles were taking place. In other words, this was a very busy time for Jesus himself. Despite this, Jesus made adjustments in both his schedule and location to communicate with the Lord through prayer. Why is that? Well, in order to answer this question, we need to consider the importance of prayer in our own lives. As a part of us being social with one another, our relationships with one another develop with ongoing communication with one another. In other words, our relationship with other people can only go closer with conversation or as we talk to them more often. Just as how our persistent communication with one another can help us bring us closer to one another, we can also utilize this prayer as our way of communication with the Lord to help bring us closer to Him. But what is the importance of maintaining a close prayer relationship with our Lord? Well, to start, the Lord has this unconditional love for us and deeply cares about all of us. In fact, it is because of His love and care for us that He always watches over us. Life is quite the hurdle for all of us to partake alone. When we make a decision alone, it can be very challenging to confirm whether it was the right one or not, based solely from our own perspective. For example, imagine trying to learn how to drive a car for the first time with nobody's help. Sure, there could be some things you are aware of, but there are plenty more other things you are unsure about, just like many of the other challenges you will face in your own life. Now, picture that same scenario where you learn to drive that same car, but now you have an instructor by your side to guide you. Not only do they help you reassure you that your decision is right, but they also teach you more things that you need to learn for now, or for the next time you drive. The reason why we need support systems in place, like our families, good friends, and other individuals that we know and trust, well, the reason why is that it helps us get back on track with our own life when we need help with decision making. But they also reassure us that we are doing the right thing when we are making our decisions, or after we've made them. However, as Christians, we can think of God as our compass to help us navigate through life. There is no greater support system than God, and there is nothing you can put your trust in more than in God's will. We see this throughout the Bible, with all the miracles and wondrous tales of those devoted to the Lord, where the seemingly impossible is made possible. Let us imagine now that this compass has a lid. However, in order for us to read that compass now, we must open the lid to read it again and gain something useful. Similarly, if we are unable to maintain a close relationship with our own God through prayer, we would then be unable to tell what the Lord is trying to speak to us or guide us. We would be unable to tell when. Without an effective connection to the Lord by prayer, our greatest support system would then become like a closed compass to us. In other words, establishing a strong connection with our Lord through prayer is so important to us because it can help us make right decisions for our own life. This is because prayer leads us to choose God's will instead of our own will, which is the best one to depend upon. Even if He may not give you the answer immediately, He will reveal the answer to you when you need it most, which is when you will be prepared to understand and interpret that answer as a result of continual prayer. Thank you all for listening. Stay safe, and I hope you all can apply this effectively into your own prayer life. Have a blessed week.